Scientists are currently spending millions of dollars to resurrect the dodo, one of history's most famous symbols of extinction. It sounds like science fiction, a real-life Jurassic Park story unfolding in modern laboratories. But here's the bizarre, mind-boggling catch that nobody seems to talk about. We do not actually know what the dodo looked like in real life. We are trying to bring back a ghost. When you picture a dodo, you probably imagine a ridiculously plump, clumsy bird with gray feathers waddling slowly across a beach. This classic image comes almost entirely from 17th century European paintings. However, these artists were not drawing from wild, healthy birds. They were painting captive, overfed specimens that had survived months on crowded ships. Or worse, they were copying each other's exaggerated sketches. Recent scientific discoveries suggest that the wild dodo was actually a sleek, active, and agile bird, perfectly adapted to the rugged volcanic terrain of Mauritius. It was not a lazy, fat target. It was a giant, flightless pigeon that could run surprisingly fast. Our historical records are heavily biased, leaving us with a caricature instead of a biological reality. Think of this de-extinction attempt as trying to rebuild a 1,000-piece puzzle when you have lost the box cover. You have all the molecular pieces, but you do not have the visual guide to know if you are assembling them correctly. Without a physical reference, how do we know if our reconstructed creature is a true dodo or a genetic monster of our own creation? This is where modern genetics steps in. Biotech companies like Colossal Biosciences are investing tens of millions of dollars into de-extinction technology. They believe that bringing back lost species can help restore damaged ecosystems and push the boundaries of genetic engineering. But the dodo is their ultimate test, a high-stakes scientific gamble with no guarantee of historical accuracy. To bring back the dodo, scientists cannot just create it out of thin air. They must start with its closest living relative, the Nicobar pigeon. This stunning, colorful bird shares a common ancestor with the dodo. By comparing the DNA of this vibrant, flying pigeon with the remnants of the extinct giant, researchers hope to map out the genetic differences that made the dodo unique. But finding usable dodo DNA is an extraordinary challenge. The dodo went extinct in the late 17th century, and its remains have spent centuries rotting in the humid tropical climate of Mauritius. Scientists must extract fragile, degraded DNA fragments from precious museum specimens, like the famous Oxford dodo, carefully piecing together a broken genetic code. When an organism dies, its DNA immediately begins to decay. After hundreds of years, the genetic blueprint is shattered into millions of tiny, scrambled pieces. It is like taking a book, running it through a paper shredder, and then trying to read the story. Scientists must use supercomputers to align these tiny fragments against the complete genome of the Nicobar pigeon to fill in the massive gaps. Once the genetic differences are identified, scientists will use CRISPR gene editing technology. This molecular scissor will allow researchers to edit the genome of Nicobar pigeon cells, slowly swapping out pigeon traits for dodo traits. They will modify genes controlling size, beak shape, and flightlessness, effectively rewriting the genetic destiny of a living bird. Even if we successfully edit the primordial germ cells, we face a massive physical hurdle: the surrogate. How do you grow a giant dodo chick inside the tiny egg of a Nicobar pigeon? Scientists must develop artificial eggs or use larger surrogate birds to hatch the edited embryo, a process that pushes the absolute limits of reproductive technology. Let us assume we solve the embryology. We still return to our original mystery. What color were its feathers? Did it have a thick layer of fat to survive dry seasons, or was it naturally lean? Bones can tell us about the skeletal structure, but they are completely silent when it comes to soft tissues, fat distribution, feather texture, and coloration. Mauritius is an island of extreme seasonal contrasts. During the wet season, food was abundant, but during the dry season, resources dwindled. It is highly likely that the dodo's appearance changed drastically throughout the year, cycling between fat and thin. The fat dodos painted by Europeans might have simply been birds captured during their peak weight, hiding their true, lean form. But de-extinction is about more than just recreating an aesthetic. The dodo played a crucial ecological role on Mauritius. It helped disperse the seeds of rare native trees and shaped the island's unique flora. By bringing the dodo back, scientists hope to restore a vital ecological gear that was violently ripped out of the island's natural engine over 300 years ago. This raises profound ethical questions. Are we doing this to fix a historical wrong? Or are we simply playing God for scientific vanity? Millions of dollars are being poured into resurrecting a long-lost species, while hundreds of living, critically endangered birds are currently sliding toward extinction due to lack of funding. Where should our priorities truly lie? Whether we agree with it or not, the clock is ticking and the science is moving forward. In the near future, a shell will crack open and a creature not seen for centuries will take its first breath. Only then will we finally know if we have truly brought back the legendary dodo or if we have created something entirely new. The puzzle is almost complete.